Rule number 2016 BTE IT 00213. Topics: DHCP, DNS, and FTP. DHCP Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. What is DHCP? DHCP is a network protocol. It works on the client server model. DHCP is implemented on application layer. DHCP is used to assign auto IP addresses to hosts or workstations on the network. It uses port number 67 and 68. Let us consider a small network of PCs which are interconnected to each other. These PCs, in order to communicate with each other, require IP addresses. IP addresses to these PCs are allocated in two ways. First is the static way and the second is the DHCP way or the automatic IP address allocation. The static IP PCs are allocated static IP addresses manually by the administrator of the network. This IP addresses is allocated by going in the TCP IP configuration of the PCs. Second is the DHCP allocation. Why do we need DHCP IP address allocation? For a small network, it is feasible to assign static addresses to each of the network, but it is not feasible for a large network. If there is a large network, it is not feasible to manually assign IP addresses to each of the computer. Therefore, a DHCP dynamic host configuration protocol is used on the server, due to which we can assign a range of IP addresses. A range of IP addresses is specified. The server then allocates IP addresses to the PCs automatically within the specified range. Now, now that the DHCP is being used in the server, it benefits the administrator. That is, it the task of the administrator is reduced. Over here, this is the DHCP server which has allocated automatic IP addresses to these PCs. The range of IP addresses range from 100 to 102. Let us consider the demonstration. This is a network in which there are number of DHCP servers and a host connected. If the host wants an IP address, it just broadcasts its request to all the DHCP servers. After receiving the host's request, after receiving the host request, the DHCP which are having the valid IP addresses will respond to the host by sending that valid IP address over here. After receiving the IP address, the host will send another response to the DHCP. The DHCP will now will send all the details of the IP configuration to the host. In this way, the DHCP configuration has established. Work of DHCP. DHCP is used for allocation of automatic IP addresses. It makes the administration tasks easy and making less mistakes. Definition thus of DHCP is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is a network protocol that enables a server to automatically assign an IP address to a computer from a defined range of numbers configured for a given network. The next topic is name system, that is DNS. The computers are able to communicate with each other using IP addresses. Computers recognize only IP addresses and no languages or names. On the other hand, humans communicate with each other using names and languages. Humans do not remember various IP addresses and other complicated addresses. Thus, Thus, DNS, that is domain name service, is implemented. The client over here, the wants to request a page that is www. For example, this is a web page which the client wants to request, but the IP address of this web page is this. The client is not able we The client on the other hand is not able to remember IP addresses, wide range of IP addresses for various web pages. Therefore, the names are given to the web pages, and the corresponding IP addresses is stored in the DNS server. For clear understanding, let us move to the video. Here, the client types in yahoo.com in the browser. The uh, the the IP address of yahoo.com is first searched in the cache memory of the client. If the IP address is not found in the cache memory, then the request is forwarded to another local DNS server. The local DNS server then searches in its database for the corresponding IP address of yahoo.com. If the IP address is found, then it responds with the IP address. If the IP address is not found, then the server forwards the request to the root server. Here, the root server is the top of the hierarchy of the domain name servers. Root is at the top of the hierarchy, the top or the root of the DNS hierarchy. The root then searches for the IP address of yahoo.com, which is obviously not available with the root server. Then it redirects the domain server. Then it redirects the server by sending the address of the top level domain, that is the top level domain called as the .com domain. This top level domain searches for the IP address corresponding to yahoo.com. If it is not having the IP address, then it redirects the domain server to another domain server, that is the authoritative name servers. The authoritative name servers contains various web pages with the associated names and IP address. It contains the IP address of yahoo.com. Then it sends this IP address to the local server, and this server then the yahoo.com IP address is sent to the local server. Then now this local server sends it to the client. Using this IP address, the client can access yahoo.com server. In this way, the DNS system is worked. The domain name server acts as a phone book in which IP addresses are referred using the names. The definition is domain name system, the internet system for converting alphabetical names into numeric IP addresses. File transfer protocol. File transfer protocol. What is a protocol? A protocol defines methods or rules for exchange of data over a computer network such as the internet. The various protocols are HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP. Consider an internet or a network who wants to communicate or exchange data. The protocol help in transfer of various types of data between networks. There are variety of protocols present in the network. For example, HTTP, HTTPS, and SMTP. These allow exchange of data between computers and servers, or the hosts and the server, out of which FTP is one of the protocol. FTP is a protocol that computer on internet uses to transport files to and from the server. The client can upload files to the server, as well as the server can send files to the clients, and on and the clients can perform various operations on the files such as modification, deletion, copy, etc. The file transfer protocol thus can be defined as the standard internet protocol for transmitting files between computers on the internet over TCP/IP connection. Thank you.